What's up, freak? Long time no see, am I right? Listen, something I will probably never do on this channel is talk about any of the dozens of modern MCU movies, but if you want to take a little stroll into the past, there is a Marvel movie that I really do love, and dare I say, it might even be one of my favorite movies of all time. You ever seen Blade? Blade is a 1998 film starring the badass himself, Wesley Snipes, and directed by Norrington. It was technically Marvel's first big commercial success, and in my opinion, still the best Marvel movie ever made.
I don't even know who you are.
Blade begins with a flashback to the late 60s where a woman was just bitten by a vampire before giving birth. And if I had to guess, I would assume this is probably Blade's mother, but I'm sure we'll find out later on what's going on. Yeah, so then we fast forward to the present and head into a vampire rave located in a freezer that would make Rocky Balboa blush.
Do other fighters pound raw meat?
No, I think I invented it.
Yeah, and then we see this poor fella get bumped around and show zero dance skills, and something tells me he's not going to get a lot of action here, so maybe Stallone will pop out later on and show him how to beat his meat. Yeah, and anyways, the sprinkler system just starts raining human fucking blood. Should anybody contact the fire marshal?
What's wrong, baby?
Well, ma'am, for starters, your fire sprinklers are definitely not up to code, and according to NFPA 13, this system isn't designed to be spewing human fucking blood, and that looks like Blade coming through the door right there, so you should probably get the fuck out of here.
Come on, Daywalker!
Anyways, Blade starts absolutely skull-fucking everybody, and it rocks. And, yeah, that's where we meet Quinn, top-tier vampire henchman.
We're gonna jack you up! Make him hurt! Bang!
No, I don't think so, Quinn. So, yeah, then Blade just sets him on fire and then just kind of dips out before the cops arrive.
Put him out. Yes, sir.
Yeah, buddy, and can you check out the operation of these sprinklers, too, while you're at it, please? And then we meet Karen, the hematologist. I know all this because that's what her name tag says. So then she goes and checks out Quinn's burned up body with her ex-boyfriend because science.
You ever have second thoughts about us?
And then Quinn wakes up in a fit of rage because he can't handle how fucking boring Karen's ex is. And then, just like clockwork, Blade comes back to finish off Quinn.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Well, you gonna apologize to Blade? Anyways, Quinn bites Karen and launches out the window like some kind of fucking freak. Back in the hospital, Blade is left to kind of figure out what to do with Karen. So he just throws her out the window. Good going, brother. Well, it looks like he takes her back to his hideout, and that's where we meet Blade's mentor, Abraham, played by Chris Christopherson. And I will always think that it's badass that he got cast in a fucking Blade movie. And then Blade's all like, hey, I got this chick and she got bit, so I threw her out a window. And there were all these cops and there was a fucking barbecue vampire. And her name's Karen because I read her name tag. Yeah, so then Abraham also reads her name tag. And then he has to explain to her that he has to inject her with garlic because of vampire reasons.
I'm going to inject you with allium sediment. Garlic.
And to be fair, she just kind of lets him.
It's going to hurt a lot.
I don't give a shit what the fuck's happening. Some old man tries to inject me with garlic. I don't think I'm going to be cool with that. Next, we see a creepy gothic boardroom full of business vampires where they're allowing me to pitch my idea for a new soda called Dr. Blood. Unfortunately, I got interrupted when we have to meet the movie's bad boy named Deacon Frost. Anyways, the business vampires start getting all shitty with Deacon because they say that his parties are drawing too much attention, and so Deacon tells those vampires that they shouldn't be making deals with humans, but that they should be controlling the humans, and they didn't like that very much.
Do we have any other business to discuss?
Well,
Gentlemen, if I could continue my pitch, please. So it's a new soda, and it's a lot like Dr. Pepper, but it's called Dr. Blood. And instead of tasting like soda, like Dr. Pepper might, it actually tastes like blood. And that's because it is, in fact, not a soda. It's actually just blood. Anyways, Karen wakes up and just starts spying on Blade and Abraham.
Turns out she's a hematologist.
You read her name tag too, huh?
It's over 50 milligrams now. That's getting dangerous.
So then Blade gets a hit of some of that good garlic. Oh, shit, brother. Yeah, that's that good shit right there. Turns out Blade has to keep doing more and more extreme remedies to keep himself from going full Nosferatu. You never go full Nosferatu. Meanwhile, Abe explains to Karen the situation that she's fallen into.
Vampires. The Hominis Nocturna.
Brother, wait. Huh? Nocturne what?
The Hominis Nocturna.
Noctra what?
And I'm supposed to believe all this.
Well, you already met Mr. Crispy at the hospital. What do you think?
I see no lies. Anyways, Blade tells Karen that he kept her alive because she's now becoming a vampire, and eventually she'll be hunted down and destroyed. And then Abe suggests that she goes and buys a gun to use on herself because she's now an abomination against all that is holy.
I suggest you take that gun and use it on yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty cheerful, isn't it?
Vampire mace.
Anyways, Abraham just gives her some garlic mace.
Silver nitrate, essence of garlic.
Honestly, I could use some shit like that when I go to Olive Garden. But the garlic mace is specifically for use on vampires, and she's becoming a vampire, so in my opinion, essentially it's just regular mace at that point.
The Hominis Nocturna.
Meanwhile, Deacon gets discovered trying to decode some ancient vampire script on his Windows 95. Then Karen goes home and gets randomly assaulted by a police officer in her house, and she whips out the Domino's garlic sauce on his ass. But it doesn't really work on him because he's not a vampire, but lucky for her, Blade just kind of shows up and beats his ass.
Is all that necessary?
Girl, he was going to shoot you. I think you can let Blade beat him up a little more. Blade explains that the cop is just one of Deacon's pawns and he's not actually a vampire. Meanwhile, Karen and Blade follow the pawn to Deacon's safe house.
You see the valets over there? They're vampires. So's the doorman. And the whore in the corner.
Yeah, and so is that pigeon. And that street lamp over there. And that piss stain on the wall. That's a vampire too.
How can you tell?
Because everything's got a blue filter over it. Anyways, Blade busts in on a bunch of dim-sum Draculas, then finds a secret passage inside their walk-in freezer. So Karen and Blade take a secret elevator to some kind of vampire library. Meanwhile, Deacon cracks the ancient vampire code before being reunited with his pawn, who tells him that Blade's coming after him.
Blade was waiting for me.
And Deacon doesn't like that very much because he just shotguns the dude's neck in front of the whole party. Kind of embarrassing for that guy, I'm not gonna lie. Back at the archive, Karen and Blade stumble on Morbiously Obese just kind of playing World of Warcraft on his computer.
You kill me! You need me, Frost! You need me!
Pearl, your history.
And they cook him with their flashlights, and it's fucking repulsive. I'm supposed to feel sorry for him, but I just don't. Not even a little bit. Blade then blows his way into a room full of ancient vampire scrolls, and hopefully they're protected, because it seems like you're probably going to destroy everything if you're just setting off dynamite in a room full of ancient vampire scrolls.
Hola, amigo!
Yeah, but then Quinn looks like he's getting the better of Blade, and just when you think all hope is lost, may I introduce you to Chris Christopherson.
Catch you fuckers at a bad time?
After that, Quinn and Blade get into a fight that definitely needed an epilepsy warning, because it just is a lot.
I want him alive.
What the fuck are you talking? You want him alive? We've been trying to kill this motherfucker for years.
So then Deacon makes sure to tell Quinn that they need Blade alive and not dead.
I need you, man.
Could this have anything to do with the ancient scrolls and a blood sacrifice, perhaps? Deacon starts taking out the old guard of vampires, taking his new place at the top of their ranks. Meanwhile, Blade randomly runs into Deacon, and Deacon just tells Blade that he's pretty much just a half-breed piece of shit.
You think the humans will ever accept a half-breed like you?
Looks like your mascara's running.
Huh? No, it's fucking not. Anyways, Deacon decides to try and make a truce with Blade.
What do you think, I'm stupid?
I mean, I don't. Deacon might, but I don't. You're nothing to me but another dead vampire. So then Blade does bullet time a whole year before the Matrix does, and Deacon throws a little Asian girl through a phone booth. What is with people throwing women in this movie? Blade. Does this kid just not have any parents? Or a hairbrush? Fuck, man. So back at the hideout, that piece of shit Quinn drops in on Abraham and Karen. They shoot Chris Christopherson, and I fear this is not going to end well. So Deacon stomps Abraham into absolute mush, and unfortunately, Blade comes back to find him. And with his last dying breath, Abraham tells Blade that Deacon needs Daywalker blood to start the vampire apocalypse, and that he left the stove on, so Blade's going to need to turn that off before he leaves. So then Abraham tells Blade to walk away so he can finish the job on himself. Is my mascara running? So then Blade goes full Viet Cong mode and starts smelting his own silver bullets and prepping to fuck Deacon's ass. Meanwhile, Deacon's holding Karen hostage at his creepy vampire penthouse. And then he just goes on an evil rant where he steals my fucking soda idea. Yeah, he says, listen up. It's called Dr. Blood. It looks and pours just like Dr. Pepper, but it's not. It actually contains 0 peppers, and the 23 flavors are all blood. It's not soda, it's just blood. And it's for vampires, not for human people. And it's called Dr. Blood, and it's gonna make me fucking rich. Dude, I hate this motherfucker.
And Blade's blood is the key.
Jesus Christ, how does he know the secret ingredient? Yeah, and sure as shit, Blade just kind of shows up to make sure no one lives past dinner time. He even fights a long-haired guy from the Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, but then we find out that Blade's mom is still alive and she's been banging Deacon, and it turns out that Deacon is a vampire that bit her.
You're finally being reunited with your mother and you act like this?
I fucking hate this guy. So they kidnap Karen and Blade and take him to an ancient underground vampire tomb. Deacon does what all good bad guys do and starts divulging his evil plans, blah, 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 blah. How do you know about the secret ingredient to Dr. Blood? You know Blade's gonna bust out his restraints and beat your fucking ass, right?
I promise you, you'll be dead by dawn.
I'm inclined to believe him. Then Deacon just kicks Karen into some hole in the floor with a zombie in it. Turns out that it's just her ex-boyfriend, and he says, not so boring now, huh? And then Karen just starts whooping his ass. And this one's for never buying me flowers on Valentine's Day. And this one's for always pissing on the toilet seat. Back upstairs, they start preheating Blade for his blood sacrifice. Yeah, and then his mom starts kind of trying to make out with him for some reason, and I closed my eyes during this part.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
So yeah, Blade's blood starts a sequence that triggers the vampire apocalypse. But then, just in the nick of time, Karen sets him free before it can all go forward. One of my neighbors is driving around outside and being very loud, and I don't like it. You'd think that they'd have at least one or two guards watching Blade so that something like this can't happen because it's just the vampire apocalypse, no big deal. Then, knowing that Blade is going to die, Karen offers up her own blood just to save him. Damn, Blade. All right, Bubba. Hey, take it easy a little bit, man. You just need enough to kind of be able to walk around and throw a few punches, man. Take it easy. Yeah, and then while that's happening, Deacon fulfills the prophecy, and Raiders of the Lost Ark saw the elder vampire. Oh, and Blade stabs and kills his own mother. Anyways, Deacon becomes some kind of super vampire, and Blade is not having that shit. Yeah, between the fucking Arctic wind blowing and all the trash trucks outside, I'm never going to get through this fucking video. It's so goddamn loud. So then Blade just starts beating the shit out of anything that has the balls to move. Also, Karen finally gets to use her garlic mace, and it literally makes Deacon's girlfriend's fucking head blow up. Then, on to the fight we've all been waiting for, Blade versus Deacon. So yeah, they just start sword fighting like it's 1512, and there's a lot of clinking and clanking, and then Blade just cuts Deacon in half. Oh, hell no! But what's this? Deacon just kind of silly putties himself back together and starts whipping Blade's ass. Yeah, here, watch. Here's some punches, here's some karate kicks, you know the drill.
Look at you. You're a little bitch.
Hey, don't say that. But then, Blade fills up Deacon with his anti-Ozempic vampire serum.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Brother, that might be the smartest thing I've ever heard anybody say in my entire life. So then Deacon does the unthinkable and goes full Nosferatu and pops like a pimple.
Let's get out of here.
So finally, the movie ends with a gloomy shot of Moscow, Russia, and would you look who it is? Just in time to save the girl and set up a fucking sequel. I honestly don't think there could have been a more badass way to end that movie. I love whenever movies end on these tiny little side quests where it's like, hey, we're going to give you a little snippet into one of the hundreds of things that Blade's going to be doing in the future, but we're just going to end it with this little shot of him being a complete badass in the snow, and you'll never know what happens, you'll never know how it ends up, but it's badass that we're going to show you either way. And yeah, folks, that's Blade, a complete 5 out of 5 movie. And I actually got news that Shin Shin, the giant panda, actually just had her cub down at the Chinese buffet in town. So I'm about to have to go and pay my respects to the new baby. But before I do, if you could do me a favor, could you just like, comment, share, and subscribe? And hey, don't do it for me. Do it for Shin Shin and the new baby. And as far as I'm concerned, I'll see you next time, I guess.
I'm expecting company.